I want you to read along on the math norms as I read them aloud. The first one says, errors are gifts that promotes discussion. It's okay to make a mistake. Not everyone is going to get everything correct. Second one says, answers are important, but they're not the math. You want to get to the right answer, but you want to know the reason or the whys, the hows. You want to be able to explain, how did you get there? If we were in class, we would be talking to each other's, talking about the thinking that goes into what it is that you're doing, how it is, why it is that you're doing what you're doing. The next one says, ask questions until the idea makes sense. You don't just want to accept, you want to just ask questions until it's clear as to the math or to what the question that's asking you, until it makes sense as to why you're doing what you're doing. The next thing, the last one says use multiple strategies, multiple representation. I may show you one way or talk through one way of saying how it is that you're going to do, but there are other ways that you can arrive at the same answer. There are multiple strategies. So we're going to use multiple strategies as well as multiple representation to get to our answer. So the next thing we're going to do, we're going to look at what is the big idea behind our next unit, which is unit 5-7, divide and fraction. The big idea is to understand the understanding of division of whole numbers can be extended to division of unit fractions by whole numbers and whole numbers by unit fractions. A fraction describes division. Please remember, a fraction describes division. Our new learning, understanding of division of whole numbers can be extended to division of unit fractions by whole number and whole numbers by unit fractions. And fractions describes division. For the re-engagement, a unit fraction, which is represented by 1 over d, 1 is your numerator, d is your denominator, is the fraction form when 1 is divided into d equal parts. Fractions represented in a variety of ways: area, parts of groups, and number lines. Equivalent fractions, please remember what is an equivalent fraction. Relationship between multiplication and division. Multiplying fractions. Partitive and quotative situation. Please look up the word partitive and quotative. Make sure you know the meaning of those. Put those definitions in your notebook because you're going to hear them, you're going to see them again. Please make sure you have a clear understanding of those two terms. All right, let's look at the number line. The question says, what expression might go with this number line? Looking at the number line, and you want to say, what is an expression that this number line could represent? As you look at it, you come up with an expression. How do you know? How do you know that that expression will go with this number line? Think about it. All right. If we were in class, we would be sharing out, but I'll just share out with you. Please look at the number line. It goes from 0, if you can see, from 0 here to 1. And then if you look between 0 and 1, there is, from 0, there's 1 tick mark here, another one here. And when you got to the 1, you have gone through 3 different tick marks. So from 0 to 1, the number line is divided into 3 parts. So that's 1 whole is 3/3. And then past the 1, if you go from 1 to 2, it's also divided into thirds. So that is 1 and 1/3. 1 and 1/3 is here. 1 and 2/3. So the total distance of the part of the number line that we're looking at is 1 and 2/3. How many pieces is that divided into? If you would count, you can see that it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I could really make an expression that says 1 and 2/3 divided by, what are we dividing 1 and 2/3 by? If you count the number of jumps that were made, we could divide it by that number. Can you think of another expression that this number line could represent? Pause the video and think about the number line or another situation that number line could represent. I'm going to take this away so you can clearly see. What's another expression that this number line could represent? All right. Now we're going to move now into our activity for today. All right, we have our entry task. And if you would click on the blue line or the blue link, you will see our entry task. Okay, now that you've clicked on the video, on the link, that link should open up to the entry task. Please read through the entry task that talks about Raquel and her brownies. As you read through the video, through the link or the task, I'm going to come back and I'm going to work through that task answering all 3 questions. Once I've gone through the questions that's being asked about the brownies, the next link or the link that is here, the one that says Lesson Series 1, Day 1, that's going to be the assignment that you're going to do. The first link that you clicked on, it opens up to the question. The second link that you clicked on gives you some boxes or some rectangle that you can divide up, that we're going to divide up to show you how are we going to divide what the task is asking. So please read through. When we come back together, after you've read through, I'm going to give you an opportunity to read through. When I come back, I'm going to walk through each one of the question that's being asked about the brownie. All right? Please read through